All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. All right. So, hope everyone's day has been going well. I recently tried the cut water, and it's good. I got the tiki rum mai tai, and it is absolutely delicious. So, toast to you, Capricorn. Let's get into your reading. I look really tired today, and that's because I kind of am. So, Capricorn. All right. So, this message is for Capricorn placements, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or anyone drawn here through alignment, not accident. And that includes you, cross watchers. So, first off, we definitely want to say our prayer and ground ourselves as we get into your message for today. Okay? So let's take a deep breath in, exhale, do that 2 times, breathe in strength, and exhale doubt. Breathe in clarity and exhale confusion. All right? So we're in this present moment, and we're going to see what's going on with you. So, as far as what's going on cosmically, I do want to state that right now Pluto is retrograde in your sign. So if you've been feeling raw, tired like me, Capricorn moon, or like the version of you that's tolerated too much is dying, it is. Okay, so if you're just feeling tired, all of that stuff, it's not just you. It's simply because Pluto is in retrograde in your sign. Pluto is transformation. And when it retrogrades in Capricorn, it absolutely strips you bare. Not to punish you. This is not punishment. This is not karma, but it's to rebuild. It's to rebuild you. It's to rebuild things in your life and also to show you what's real. Hold on, I feel like, okay, there we go. But to show you what's real. Okay. At the same time, Mars is in Cancer. So it's activating your relationship house. So this may be bringing up tension, miscommunication, even passive aggression in your close knit relationships. And I feel as though some of you are realizing that you do not feel emotionally safe anymore. We're going to get more into that. But that is a feeling that I am getting that some of you are experiencing, that you don't feel emotionally safe anymore. However, what happened to my stuff? Okay. However, adding in, we also have the full moon in Aquarius. All right. And that we're kind of in the shadow period of that now. But so some of you are out of it, some of you are still in it. But that's when you've got revelations about boundaries, self-worth, freedom, and you're seeing your situations more clearly. For some of you, this is not the first time you're having this revelation, but for the majority of you, it is the first time you're having this revelation of, wait a minute, I'm seeing this with new eyes. Okay. So as we get into your message, Capricorn, I must tell you that you have carried so much silently. And I truly, truly commend you. I also feel as though you've been carrying so much silently for so long. You've been the rock, you've been the builder, the provider, the one that people count on. But in the midst of that, when it was your turn to lean, there was no one there. There was no one there to be your support. And you're thinking, who has held space for you the way that you have held space for others? I hope my music is not too loud, but music really helps me tune in. Okay. You keep showing up for people. You're being very I don't think explanative is a word, but you over explain. You're explaining, you're hoping, you're waiting for effort that has never come. And Spirit wants you to know that you have not, you were not, you are not asking for too much. You're just offering your rare love to people who simply aren't ready to receive it. As we think about the capacity of people and what they're able to give, unfortunately, you have been in alignment with people who aren't able to give back to you in the same way that you give back to them. In terms of the dynamics of this reading, the relationship dynamics, some of you are in relationships. I'm sorry, I'm looking at my dog, my new puppy. I feel like she has to go to the bathroom. Some of you are in relationships. And I'm sorry, let me backtrack. When it comes to the relationship dynamics, some of you are in romantic relationships, and some of you are in familial relationships. I'm really getting that the relationship dynamics of this piece is more romantic, love, and familial, family oriented. And these are the two groups in which you are constantly proving your value. You feel as though you have to constantly prove your value. I want to remind you that when it comes to love, whether familial, platonic, as we look at the different types of love, agape love, even the romantic love. Can someone comment which one is the romantic love? I always forget which one that is, which one that's called. However, Spirit wants you to know with love, the reminder is love should feel like it's being met, not measured. Like, I've given this much to you, therefore you should give at least this much to me. But love is simply meeting people where they are at and you being okay with that. That is love, right? If it's not that, it's not coinciding with what love is. And Spirit wants you to know is that you're not too sensitive, you're not too much. You're just finally done explaining your worth to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. And that is okay. And I definitely think that is more so a pat on the back. I get that some of you are grieving, whether it's the loss of a loved one, the loss of a relationship, the loss of a friend, whether it is end of life or end of relationship. There is a grievement that's going on, um, but also in the form of not just a person, it's also the person that you were, or the person that you are coming out of being. So this could be an external person, but it is also you as well. And I feel as though it's really two things. There's a grievement of a person that meant a lot to you, but also you are grieving the person that you were. But you don't see the person that you are becoming right now. And that's the hard part, to be honest. When we are growing, like we're told all the time when we're younger, when you are growing and you have those growing pains, it hurts. And we're told, oh, yeah, that's just growing pains. Or, when we get our wisdom teeth extracted, or these different things that go on with our bodies, like even like menstrual cramps, right? Like there's these things that are associated with growing, with becoming a woman, becoming a man. And it's always associated with pain, unfortunately, that growth. And I'm here to remind you, and Spirit wants you to know that this pain that you are enduring is actually a growth period, and you are growing into something. And the word that comes to mind is astonishing. You are growing into something astonishing. You're growing into something worthwhile, and you're also growing into something, and the other word I'm getting is keeping, worthwhile keeping. So this version that you are becoming, it's not going anywhere. It's here to stay. Continue to lay down your burdens, Capricorn, because a new version of you is rising. Um, Capricorn, if you have a journal nearby, I want you to write these down, or simply let them land in your spirit and jot them down in your heart and take note of them. Okay. The first one is, who in your life do you feel like you're constantly proving yourself to? And I feel so much pressure to add on to that. I feel so much pressure to talk about who you could be trying to prove yourself to, but I'm being told to refrain from doing so, because this is simply for you to dissect yourself. So, who in your life do you feel like you're constantly proving yourself to? What part of you is afraid to walk away from relationships that drain you? That's a big one. That's hard. I get that. Third, where did you learn that love had to be earned, not received? Again, as we go back to that, love and doing things for people is about meeting them where they're at. It's not necessarily the measurement of what has been done. And lastly, what would it feel like to be in a space where love came without struggle? What does that look like to you? Where love came without struggle. Sometimes we're so entrenched, we're so embedded into what um sometimes we're so entrenched and we're so embedded. Sorry, I had to send a message. Um into the type of love that we were raised around, even though it may not have been healthy. And therefore we don't know anything else. However, we know what we're feeling, what we're experiencing once we have felt and experienced that for so long. And we know that it's burdensome in a way. There's an aspect of it that we do not like. So, therefore, even if you can't directly frame it, even just small things, various wants and needs, what would it feel like to be in a space where love came without struggle? Okay. Capricorn, one thing is you are safe to name the truth. And this right here is letting that truth come out in such a way that is more poetic, that is more storytelling, that more so speaks to your soul, because naming is the first step in release. Um, the ritual that I want you to do is write a letter to the person or version of you that allowed love to be conditional. Again, that allowed love to be conditional. Say everything, the anger, the disappointment, the confusion, the longing, and don't hold back in this letter because, as I'm sure you already know, this letter is for you, not them. After you're done writing the letter, I want you to, I know you know what's coming next, I want you to burn it. As you burn it, say, I release what never saw my light. I return to myself whole, worthy, and sacred. I'm going to say it one more time. I release what never saw my light. I return to myself whole, worthy, and sacred. In that moment, you're going to see the smoke rise. As that smoke rises, the weight is going to fall, and allow the weight to fall, because that right there is the beginning of the cycle ending. Okay. As you know, I like to do timelines. What we know is that in the spirit world, time doesn't exist. So therefore, it can be really hard to do timelines. However, if you're like me and you're very impatient, you need something to hold on to. So when I give timelines, things can happen before. And when I say before, it could be a few weeks before, a few weeks to a month before, few weeks to a month after. All right. But these are just timelines to help us gauge, because we are human beings who love instant gratification. And a lot of times we just need help, right? And um, a lot of times that's also in the form of some sort of knowledge of when. Hold on, my dog wants to come in. Give me 1 minute. So, here's your timelines, Capricorn. Here is what is next. All right. So, for the rest of this in part of July, truth is going to reveal itself. All right. Um, and I also touched on this in the retrograde, Mercury retrograde reading. So if you haven't watched that, watch that, because I give some really critical timelines regarding Mercury in retrograde and how it is affecting each and every sign. So, and this timeline is also a part of that, but it's the revelation. It's when truth reveals itself. You should expect conversations, emotional clarity, or even the urge to walk away. But nonetheless, Capricorn, you are to trust it. All right. Mid August, I see there being a new emotional beginning. Mid August, that new emotional beginning is going to start showing itself to you. I don't necessarily think that this is going to be romantic. It could be, but I'm not feeling that. But whatever it is definitely going to feel nourishing to your soul. And then we get into the September equinox. There's going to be a spiritual turning point. The one who rises from the season will not settle. Okay. I want you to know that your future is not behind you, and what's meant for you will not confuse you. Okay. If this message found you at the right time, please like, as well as comment and subscribe. The more you like, comment, and subscribe, the more videos I will do. Okay. I want you to honor the part of you that's healing, the part of you that's tired, and the part of you that's ready. That's 3 different parts of you. All right. We're going to honor each and every part: the one that's healing, the one that's tired, and the one that is ready. Amen. All right. If you comment, I am choosing peace over confusion, I will reply with your angel number and your frequency for the season. And what does that mean? You operate in a frequency. Of course, there's frequencies on YouTube where they're like, oh, frequency for love, frequency for money, frequency for letting go. But we all operate at our very own frequency. What would that mean if we all had the same frequency? That does not make any sense. We all operate at our very own frequency. All right. So if you comment, I am choosing peace over confusion, I will tell you what your angel number is and what your frequency is for this season, because again, our frequency changes. If you want a personal reading, please email me, and we can get into a more tailored, specific reading regarding love, money, career. All right. Again, like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much, Capricorn. And I hope this resonated.